Well, welcome everyone, and welcome to the July Energy Report. Welcome to July. And I wish I would have gotten this out at least a day ago or 2 days ago, because I would have been even more accurate. So I just want you to know that I did this energy report before all of the news reports came out last night and this morning about Trump. Okay, so what do I first want to say? I want to say thank you um, to all the new subscribers. I don't know why you're here. I don't post very much. I don't yeah. Uh Welcome, thank you. And if there's anything in particular that maybe, I don't know why you're here, but I'm so grateful. But if you're here for Oracle sessions or things like that, and you have a topic, shoot me a message. I'll be glad to tune in. But other than that, I'm so glad you're here. I'm shocked. I never even thought I'd make it to 50 subscribers. So I think I maybe have 150 now. Anyway, enough of that. So if you're new, I do just very generalized monthly energy reports. And while I tune into the collective, I think that these energy reports are mostly for the collective of the people that tune in to my videos, maybe not necessarily globally, like other energy report readers do. So what I do is I tune in for a feeling energy. I get a couple of words that maybe describe themes or things that are going on. And then I throw for a hexagram for the month for the theme, but also just for sharing some wisdom. So as far as my feeling energy for this month, I will talk about that at the end of the video, because I kind of did a global feeling journey through a couple of countries, several countries. And it was quite interesting. So the words that I got, well, first of all, let me go back. So in June energy, when I tuned in, I said, oh, I feel this warm energy. and the hexagram that we got was the joyful. And of course, summer was coming, the sun was coming out, people were coming out of the house. But I remember feeling this warm energy. Well, I mean, I guess I could extend that and say, wow, that maybe I was feeling the heat on the West Coast and the East Coast. And also in the beginning of the year, when I kind of did a year theme, I got that this would be a year for the US to burn off karma. And I got a name for this year. It was called Ignatius, and that's the fiery one. So I really believe that what's happening on the East and the West Coast, West East, that we're burning off some karma. Now it's not fire, although there are obviously wildfires in many states right now. But when Kundalini is rising and she's beginning to clear out your own personal blocks, when she's rising, it feels like extreme heat. When it goes up your spine, or when you feel that intense heat throughout your body, it can be so hot. I've had one time, it was so hot, I literally thought I was on fire and was going to die. So I think what's happening is definitely the West Coast is experiencing its own little Kundalini karmic situation, and the East Coast as well. So that's that. What else? I should have, of course, it always happens. Let me put this on pause. Sorry about that. I get so sick of all these people calling sales calls. Anyway, it'll probably happen again. So where was I? So the first word that I got for the July was explosive. And I thought, oh, that's ridiculous, because of course, 4th of July, fireworks. But come to find out, just last night, because I really felt this explosive energy. And what happened in California was this huge explosion of fireworks. I guess somebody had stored fireworks, like tons, like thousands of tons of fireworks illegally. And the people came in and tried to contain it, but they all blew up and many people were hurt. So I really, maybe I tuned into that. I don't know. Oh, and also last month when I saw that train derailment. So like 2 days after I put up the video, while I thought it was in the US, I'm terrible at locations. It turns out in India, there was a very bad train derailment. So, you know, I am not a psychic. All of my psychic skills have gone away, have disappeared. The deeper awakenings that I have, all of these skills, but I love to kind of just practice and tune in. It's just fun, but I'm definitely terrible at locations, but I do just get glimpses of things. But I'm not trying to be psychic. I'm not trying to predict what's coming. I just kind of share what comes to me. So explosive was correct, but the real words for this month were grand scheme. That was directed particularly at the US at a certain situation. And then for the collective globally, grand junction. So this is a grand month. And so sure enough, of course, headline news this morning talking about this scheme against Trump, and his Trump organization was being indicted and all this sort of stuff. So, and they used the word scheme. So I feel I was honing in on that. And when I asked about what is this grand scheme for the US, I did a little oracle session that I'm going to insert into this July energy report. So I wanted to know, what was it about? And so the grand scheme is for the US, yes. Is this sort of a nefarious this scheme that's happening? And I got warm. And then I heard the word underhanded. Is it an underhanded scheme? Yes. Is it something about truth being revealed? No. Is this scheme in the works? Like, are they planning it? No, going in the wrong direction. And then I asked, has it already played out? Yes. And this is unbeknownst to me what was happening with Trump. So it's a scheme that's already been playing out. That's already playing out now. And I said, is it about the White House or the government? No, wrong direction. It's being played out by the shadow government? Yes. Does it affect the White House? No, wrong direction. The American people? Wrong direction. Is it a particular person getting close? A group? You're warm, getting close. Is it about the Trump and his family? Ding, ding, ding. And then I started asking, like, what is the goal of this scheme against the Trump family? What is the reason? What are they? And I kept getting no, 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 no. And I asked, are you able to reveal what is the goal? And I got no, but here's a little bit more information. This whole scheme about, now the indictments that came out are not against Trump or any one individual in his family. It's about his the business or the organization, about paying taxes and some other things. But this scheme, I said, what is the reason for this scheme? Why are you calling it a scheme? And I got, oh, is this a warning for Biden? Ding, ding, ding. Remember, this is the shadow government kind of playing some games here. I think, I can't read my writing. Anyway, is the Trump group actually guilty of crimes? And I got a no. And then I asked, did they simply use the loopholes available to them? Ding, ding, ding. And then I wanted, let's see. And then I asked about individually. Remember, this isn't an individual indictment. So I asked, is Trump actually guilty of something, of some crime? Ding, ding, ding. Is this, let's see here. Is Don Jr. involved in particular crimes? And I'm going in the wrong direction. Is Ivanka? And I got a warm hit on that. But when I asked about Jared, ding, ding, ding. So Jared and Donald are certainly have actually committed some kind of fraud or crime. But in this particular, what they're being indicted for is for their organization, and I guess not paying taxes. But this whole thing is being used as a warning for Joe. And I asked why. Is it a warning for Joe about Hunter Biden? Warm. Then I asked, is it just about keeping Joe in line, like keeping him contained or maybe not doing things that they don't want him to do? And I got a yes. So it's interesting, this little scheme that they're playing with Trump, like, you know, this is what happens to you, Joe. This is what happens to people that cross the line, that don't do things, don't follow what we want you to follow. So very interesting. So enough of that. Let's get back to the July energy report. So that was the grand scheme for the US about Trump and his family, and a warning to the current administration. Okay, so what is this Grand Junction? Now, Grand Junction is a meeting point where two or more things meet. And I asked, is this Grand Junction something to do with astrology? And I got a warm. And then I asked, is this an influx of cosmic energy? Ding, ding, ding. So in electrical terms, a junction is where multiple conductors and semiconductors make contact. So I suspect, I don't follow astrology, I don't know astrology, but whatever's happening in the heavens and the cosmos, maybe some conductors and semiconductors, they're all meeting up, and we're going to get even a larger influx of energy, cosmic energy, this month. And when I tuned into that cosmic energy, like, what does that mean? What I saw was like a very fast bullet train, subway train, stopping, and then all these people getting off the train. I do not, and the train was moving to the left. And I really don't know how to interpret that. I looked some stuff online and none of it feels correct, but it just feels like there were a bunch of people leaving the train, getting off of the journey, perhaps. I thought it was interesting that the subway train seemed very new, fast, and the people that were coming off were wearing older clothes, like 1940s, 50s, and 60s. So I don't know what that means. Perhaps more people will be leaving the earth at this time due to the heavy cosmic energy. So this Grand Junction is a good thing. We're going to have really good, or just a higher influx of cosmic energy this month. Okay. And if you guys out there in astrology world, if you know if there's going to be like a junction, a Grand Junction, let me know. I'm curious. Okay, so the hexagram for this month for our little I Ching wisdom is hexagram 16. And let's see here. What the sage wanted us to kind of be aware of is, we got lines 1 and 6, and the warnings here were, when you've received help from the cosmos, like you've been pleading for help from the cosmos, like many of us, I would suspect the whole world was praying for help from this COVID, from lockdowns, for all the restrictions, that it's a warning to us that we cannot forget where the help came from. So, we're out of lockdown. It seems like COVID seems to be lessening, or the virus, even though they're talking about the Delta variant. Things seem to be getting better on that front. And that the sage is saying people are acting arrogant. They have forgotten, or they don't realize where the help actually came from. They were praying for help, it came, and now they're saying, we beat it, I did this, or if you've gotten healing or something worked in your life, you have to remember that you do nothing. You always are helped by the invisible world. And that when you begin to take credit for it and forget where your help came from, then the help gets taken away. Your protection from the cosmos gets taken away. So the sage is giving us a warning that things are going well. You asked for help and you got it, but now don't act arrogant and say you did it or you succeeded, I made it through. No, you made it through with the help of the helpers. Also, it's a warning that when you have received healing and help, that you don't go and speak about this and perhaps brag about it. Oh, I got this healing, to people who don't believe in what you believe or who are skeptical. You know, you kind of want to brag. Maybe you're trying to convince family members, well, I got this Reiki healing and my shoulder doesn't hurt anymore. You should do it. And that family member doesn't believe you. Now, they may on the surface go, that's great. But underneath, they may be ridiculing your beliefs. And by ridiculing your beliefs, you are subjecting the very helpers, the beings that helped you heal, they are being subjected to that ridicule. And that in turn also removes your protection and your healing. So we have to be very careful and not be overly enthusiastic, because that's the name of the hexagram, enthusiasm. Overly enthusiastic and take credit for these healings. We have to remember that the cosmos is always there, the invisible helpers helping us. And that once the ego starts taking credit, or we subject our beliefs onto other people that don't believe in it, then our protection goes away. So let's see, what else did the sage want to convey? He did say that the gene key shadow word was most relevant for the theme, particularly in the US, but globally. But the US has really kind of taken this energy on. And the gene key shadow of gene key 16 is called indifference. And this is what I really felt when I tuned in, feeling energy from the US. And the sage is saying that there's this growing, massive indifference, coldness happening within particularly the American people, but globally, that we've just kind of stopped caring about everyone else. It's called diffusion of responsibility. Like, we can witness someone getting hurt and we do nothing. We're turning a blind eye to everything, and that we're being very, very selfish. We're going out and partying because now we can. We're just doing what makes us feel good and being very cold to the suffering or the distress or whatever's going on in the world. And I could really feel that when I tuned into the US in particular, the feeling that I got. I came in with a very clean, clear energy, and immediately everything kind of collapsed inward. Even my face made an awful face, and everything went in. I got cold and I felt this indifference, and it was a terrible feeling. It was kind of shaky. I felt awful. And I could just feel that this was the theme of the American people. But then globally, we're all becoming a little indifferent of all the stress. We're like, I'm done with it. You know, we've had our year in lockdown and COVID, and it's all about me, and forget about everyone else. Now, the Gene Key talks about that this is also indifference to our own hopes and dreams, and that we just go along with the pack or what the collective ego tells us. But that's not the theme that the sage was saying. It was more of this coldness, indifferent attitude to life, that it's all about my pleasure and who gives a damn about what's going on. So maybe let's just take the blinders off a little bit for this month. Let's see, what else? I think that's it about the warning that Sage wanted to convey this month, hexagram 16. So be careful about taking credit or boasting about a healing that you received. And this has probably happened to you. You've gotten a healing, and then perhaps you've talked about it, you shared about it with people, and unbeknownst to you, the other person is maybe like, oh, I'm so tired of hearing about this person. Wow, she's telling me about all these tools that she has, and I'm so tired of it. Your helpers are being, ridiculed, and then suddenly your pain comes back. Maybe that's why. So check yourself. Okay, now for my little feeling journey around the globe, I told you what I got for the US. Very cold and collapsed. Shaky. It was awful energy. For the UK, I got a really strong, expansive energy, and the phrase stiff upper lip came into my mind, and I felt like very grand and regal energy. So I don't know what's going on. I didn't feel bad. So I think you're going to be fine for July. It was a good energy, but it seemed like stiff upper lip and very royal and very regal. For Europe as a whole, didn't feel anything in particular. There was a little less energy. It was a little deflation of energy. Spain kept coming into my mind, but no particulars there. I'm not a psychic. I'm just nothing important there. Japan was interesting. I got to Japan and I could feel the energy trying to be enthusiastic, but then it was like emptying out. It was like trying to be enthusiastic, emptying out. And then it hit me, oh my gosh, that's where the Olympics are playing out. And what I could feel was there was an attempt, oh, a thunderstorm is coming. Okay, it's getting loud. I'll be really quick. So I feel like they're trying to ramp up, get energy for the Olympics, but I kind of think the spectator, it's going to fall kind of flat in Japan. Ooh, I'm feeling that in my stomach. Like, I think I'm right. China was, it's always like this, intense and agitated. North Korea was nothing there, nothing out of the ordinary. South Korea, I got a real pain in my heart. So I don't know if maybe a leader or somebody will pass. Russia, nothing. South America, I lumped it all together, and what I felt was there were too many competing energies, differing energies, that I couldn't make sense out of it. So I have to just let that one go because I couldn't tune into like Peru, Brazil. Australia was interesting. It was spinning, dizzying, confusing. I kind of felt the bottom dropping out. So there was a lot of confusion, swirling energy. I don't know, maybe they'll have an earthquake, or I think they're on lockdown, but there's a lot of stuff going on, but it was very swirling and unsettling. And finally, India, my first image was people with fans. So heat, I was feeling heat, and then I got nauseous, and felt total exhaustion. So I think for the month of July in India, it's just going to be, they're so exhausted, and maybe they're going to have even more heat than usual. So sorry if that was a long July energy report, very basic, but maybe something mentioned in here is for you in particular. Anyway, enjoy July. Enjoy the grand junction and influx of cosmic energy, and we can just watch this grand scheme of things play out for the Trump family. Until next time, bye.